This is North Korea. And this is us a few meters away in China. If you ever wonder what it's like to stand face to face with North Korea without actually crossing the border, welcome to Dandong. So in this video, we'll show you how to plan your trip to Dandong, China's mysterious border town with North Korea. So you can expect some train tips, how to get from Singapore, some secret viewpoints, and how to stay respectful in one of the most secretive borders in the world. So we began our journey by flying with Singapore Airlines from Singapore to Beijing. It was a red-eye flight, so this is us just settling into our seats. So this is some of the amenities that's provided on board, like the sleepers, together with water and a headset. So just check it out. Yeah, and we were served a welcome drink at this point, so we were just sipping on it and enjoying the ride. So it's about a 6 hours journey. So yeah, hot towels are provided too, so that was quite cute. Okay, that's just me clowning, but yeah, or maybe us clowning. We were seated in the middle aisle, and this is a divider between us. So in the midst of all the clowning, I accidentally released it, and I couldn't put it back, so I had to ask the crew for help. But they were really nice about it, so I'm so sorry. Yeah, so at around 4 a.m., they woke us up for breakfast, and we ordered the ever famous lobster torpedo, and they also did celebrate our anniversary. So thank you so much to the crew. It was so sweet.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are here at Beijing Chaoyang Railway Station. So we have just landed this morning in Beijing, and then we're going to take a 5-hour railway train ride down to Dandong. We will begin exploring what is it like living along the border with North Korea. So join us on this trip. We will see you in Dandong.
So in case any of you needed it, this is the train that we took. So if you're following the exact train schedule, you can search out this train number on trip.com and book it accordingly. So if you haven't already watched our other videos in other parts of China, you do have to have a ticket before you can enter the station. So for foreigners, you can plan your trip accordingly. So this is the train that we're gonna take. There was a restaurant cabin that we showed earlier in this video, and this is us in our seats. So again, the trains are so comfortable. There's so much leg room, and yeah. So this is generally how our seats look like. In our tickets, you're assigned the exact seat number, so no worries about someone else taking your seat.
女士们、先生们，欢迎乘坐本次列车。
And here we go, we're on our way to Dandong. The train is really on time, so just make sure you factor in enough time to enter your train. So this is how distraught we look like after hours on the train. Are we there yet? And I guess it's safe to say we are almost there. So yep, there we are in Dandong. So our luggages are placed at this specific area, so we are just walking over to collect it before we alight. There was surprisingly a lot of people, which was not what we expected, because Xiaohongshu, which is like the little red note, was telling me that it was not peak tourist season, but there were so many people. So it turns out it was summer holidays, and especially for all the students, so it was peak travel period for domestic tourism, and Dandong is a very popular destination among domestic tourists. So this is the whole situation at like the exit. So again, go to the main counter, okay? Not gonna lie, it was chaotic.
So after a 5 hours train ride from Beijing, we have arrived in Dandong railway station, and right outside the railway station is the statue of Chairman Mao. Now the statue here in Dandong, China, part of Liaoning province, is actually a prominent landmark because it commemorates his role in the Korean War, where the Chinese forces led by him actually intervened on behalf of the North Korea. So you can see actually there's a lot of people in Dandong is not as empty as what people think. And the statue here also reflects the broader Chinese personality cult surrounding Mao, which was particularly strong during the the Korean War era. So as you know, this town, it's a border town, and therefore we expect a lot of Korean influences. So we will explore here before we head further north towards Yanji and the border of Russia. So yep, it's a really huge statue. You can see people doing exercises here. Just like any part of China.
So this is the Chairman Mao statue. It's located directly outside the station if anyone is interested in taking photos. So we've finally arrived at our hotel. We're staying at the Dandong Rising Zhonglian Hotel. It's about a 20 minutes walk from the train station or like 10-minute ride. So we intentionally picked this hotel because it has a window that was overlooking North Korea, and it's really comfortable. It came with two separate like beds and a really clean toilet. So yeah, this is how everything looks like. I would say really simple, really clean, really nice. So overall satisfied.
So our hotel has a full window facing North Korea. So this river that you're looking at now, it's the Yalu River, which is one of the key 3 points that primarily define and separates the China and North Korea border. The other two being the Tumen River, as well as Mao Pek 2, otherwise known as Changbai Shan. So we will be going to the other two as well. So to just look at how at each point does it differ with the border between China and North Korea. So this is one of the most popular tourist spots to observe North Korea, and you can see inside there, exactly opposite of the Dandong city, that is the city of Sinuiju. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. Pardon my pronunciation, but this city, it's the border city on the North Korean side, and you can look closely. You can see this odd red circular building. So allegedly, this was constructed back in 2018 when Kim Jong-un visited this border city of Sinuiju, and he is thought to have been annoyed by these gaudy neon signs across the Chinese bank. So because these signs shone directly behind the bronze statue of his grandfather and father, he decided that he wants to erect this reddish disc that stands near the river to block the view of the bustling city of Dandong. So the apartment building apparently has more than 20 stories and was recently completed by the site of this Sino-Korean friendship bridge. So most parts of the outer walls are painted light red, while the parts in the lower levels, as you can see, are white, evoking the image of the sun shining through clouds. And this symbolizes Kim Il-sung, the founding father of the reclusive state that you are looking at now. So you can see we're selling North Korean notes. One book like that costs 20 RMB. And then they have North Korean cigarettes as well. Yep, so I don't smoke, so I don't know about this, but North Korean notes. We did previously buy from Dora Observatory at the DMZ. One single note itself costs almost $15 US. So over here it costs 20 RMB. 20 RMB is perhaps $2-3 US only. So if you want to get North Korean souvenirs, definitely come over here instead. Lots of domestic tourists actually.
So it feels so surreal standing here because on one hand in Dandong there is bustling with people, with activities, but on the other side of the river, North Korea was really dark and really quiet.
Okay, so he bought like notes from North Korea. It's insane. Look at it. Wow. So it comes with coins, notes. These are apparently currently being used. And yeah, this.
所以你进过朝鲜吗？
没去过。前几年那阵儿咱们在朝鲜1日游、2日游可以过去，从疫情完了之后啊，就不让过去了。一开始可以就是办那个护照就过去了，对，非常快。现在不行，过不去。那什么吧，就属于什么呢？组织的打工的，有什么像是日本的，什么使社啦，对，就是你能过来的人，打工的人，不是随便都能过来的，都是有点背景啊似的，都是高官啊似的，能过来，这不是说你随便过来的，工的啊，说那他挣多少钱？挣可能是以前少1000块钱左右，一个月啊。对。现在涨了2300-400块钱，那也比咱那边那什么工人便宜多得多呀！真的。
Yeah, so we did have conversations with locals, and some of the things that they shared were really insightful, and I wouldn't have known otherwise. And it was really interesting that one thing that was common among all our conversations with locals was that they live so close to North Korea, but they had no interest in going over at all. But it remains such a mysterious place for the
So we
rest
signed
of
up
us.
for this tour. Cost us 98 RMB for roughly 3 hours. So it's a 1 hour bus ride from Dandong to this area called Duanqiao, which is another broken bridge along this border. And then they will take us about a 1 hour boat ride within very close to the proximity of North Korea. And we'll see a few things like North Korea Women's Prison, village, some factories. Yeah. So right by the broken bridge here, it's very chaotic, lots of tourists, and most of the time they are all domestic tourism just coming from within mainland China itself. And you can see that's the bridge further at the back, it's the Friendship Bridge, and then the one with tourists walking along, that's the broken bridge. And right beside it, there is a ferry terminal whereby you can buy a ticket to go along the Yalu River to tour it and just have a closer glimpse into what life is like in North Korea. So we did manage to spot some amusement park, some water slides right by the border, North Korea. So yeah, and we'll be going on the tour now. So see y'all.
So throughout the bus ride, the guide was actually sharing very interesting information about North Korea. We saw some workers working on like building some of these buildings that were destroyed during a flood in recent years, and they were wearing like different color caps. So she was giving explanations for that. However, she don't allow any recording throughout the ride. So she was watching us. She made me and like Fong sit right at the front so that she could watch us. And I would urge all tourists to remain respectful and obey all of this as you're traveling. You don't want to get anyone in trouble.
So literally right by this river, I think perhaps less than 100 meters on the other bank is North Korea. And from what the guy has shared with us, so this tall structure you're seeing have only been built in recent months because of a flood last year. And the flood actually destroyed a lot of houses. And a lot of houses that we're seeing now across the border today have only been built recently. Right, so along the river, the crowd, we actually weren't allowed to take any photos, any videos. But we did spot many North Koreans, construction workers working. And from what we understand, those who have the ability to work and live around this area in the DPRK are actually a lot more well connected and belong in perhaps the upper hierarchy of this North Korea regime. So we're right by the North Korean border. We got a yacht that can seat 8 people for 500 RMB, and that will bring us right by the border of North Korea as close as up to 3 meters away from the border. So as you can see, right opposite, there's North Korea. Really, really beautiful actually. So we have the cruise, 1 hour more or less, and it will bring us right by the border. As you can see, that is North Korea. Looks like Alps. Yeah. So this river, the Yalu River, technically speaking, as long as you don't touch the land border of each country, you are free to roam along this river. This is the agreement. There's no line cutting in the middle of the river.
So during the ride, we did spot some North Koreans and got a glimpse of how life was like there. So it was really interesting. And all their agriculture there doesn't use any fertilizer, so it's 100% organic. So it was really interesting to look at the difference in landscape.
So this is the very famous Dandong Broken Bridge, a historic landmark on the China and North Korea border. So this is right on the border, across the Yalu River, and this is built in 1911 by the Japanese. This bridge once connected China to North Korea. But in 1950, because of the Korean War, the US bomber actually destroyed the bridge to cut off any supplies or possible resources sending from the Chinese side. So only the Chinese side today is left standing, and we are on it. So we're going to walk all the way halfway through, and then we get to see North Korea closer. But on the left, you can see this is the Sino-Korean Friendship Bridge. And you can see that truck itself now, it's going right towards North Korea. So this bridge is constructed to support and facilitate economic exchange between the two countries. And that's a Chinese truck sending and selling items into North Korea. And this bridge itself, you can actually also use trains. So there's also a railway track functions. So if you're going to North Korea on a tour when it's possible, instead of flying in from Beijing into Pyongyang, you can actually take the train itself directly from Dandong station and all the way in. And yeah, so perhaps I'll share a little bit more about this Friendship Bridge after we take a tour on this Yalu River Broken Bridge. So right at the end of the Broken Bridge, you have a huge broadcast of some propaganda film, I suppose, or historical films of the war that the Chinese made by the Koreans to defeat during the Korean War. And you can see right in front of you, it's North Korea. Some, I would assume, fishermen trawlers along the coast. Pretty good high rises, constructions of buildings still going on. And on the other side is the Friendship Bridge. All the way in. So distance from here to the land of North Korea is perhaps about 500-600 meters. So close, but really worlds apart in reality. And it puts into perspective of how lucky we are to be born elsewhere. Humbling experience, definitely. So this bridge that you're looking at now is actually the only legal crossing point between China and North Korea. So this is named the China and North Korea Friendship Bridge, built in 1943 by the Japanese. It connects both this country together with the broken bridge that we are standing on now next door. So this one is still very active. As you can see, tour buses and just now cargo trucks crossing into the world's most secretive country. So this is, I would assume, North Korea's only legal lifeline for trade, having all of the sanctions by the rest of the world. So everything from fuel to food to support the North Korea operations passes through here. And rumor has it, this is Kim Jong-un's private train uses this bridge too. So I don't think it's possible stopping it, but fingers crossed. Right. So if you're obsessed with borders, like all of us do here on this channel, feel free to subscribe for more content like this.
So after we got off the bridge, we were actually just chilling, and then we started to spot this, and then the North Korean flag. So then we were like, oh, it's a speedboat from North Korea, and then we started seeing these crews, carrying a full boat of like North Koreans, and it was really really interesting. They were just waving at the crowd. Yeah, it was majestic. So I would say that Dandong is a must visit, and if you're interested, there will be more videos coming up, so do subscribe for that.